This video has been recorded using the Davo DVC 100. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tyler from the channel Zebra Brahma and the Steam controller. Oh man, I don't know how they're gonna do this, but let me just read the article that explains what the Steam controller is and how it will be conservative within the Steam community. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen this with the OUYA, even though the controller is kind of good, the touchpad and the shoulder pads, the shoulder buttons, not that good. But here is a controller from Valve for Steam. This is what it says. Portal and Half-Life Studio Valve today announced the Steam controller, which features a touchscreen and haptic feedback. Why do I think they're trying to copy the OUYA? The announcement is the third from Valve this week, following Steam OS on Monday and Steam Machines on Wednesday. We set out with a singular goal: bring the Steam experience in its entirety into the living room. We knew how to build a user interface, we knew how to build a machine and even an operating system, but that still left our biggest missing link, Valve said. We realized early on that our goals required a new kind of input technology, one that could bridge the gap from the desk to the living room without compromises. So we spent a year experimenting with new approaches to input, and we now believe we've arrived at something worth sharing and testing with you. According to Valve, the Steam controller will work with all past, present, and future games on Steam, including those that were not built with controller support. Valve can achieve this by fooling the older games into thinking they are being played with mouse and keyboard. In explaining its design philosophy for the Steam controller, Valve said traditional gamepads force us to accept compromises. The Steam controller offers a new and, we believe, vastly superior controller scheme, all while enabling you to play from the comfort of your sofa, Valve said. Built with high-precision input technologies and focused on low-latency performance, the Steam controller is what the living room ordered. According to Valve, the most prominent elements of the Steam controller are its dual circular trackpads that players will manipulate using their thumbs. The trackpads are clickable, turning the entire surface into a button. The trackpads allow far higher fidelity input than has previously been possible with traditional handheld controllers, Valve said. Steam gamers, who are used to the input associated with PCs, will appreciate that the Steam controller's resolution approaches that of a desktop mouse. Valve said entire genres of games that were once playable only through keyboard and mouse are now accessible in the living room thanks to the new controller. The developer specifically called out real-time strategy games, casual games, and cursor-driven games as examples. First-person shooters will also benefit from the Steam controller's high resolution and absolute position control, Valve said. Valve explained that trackpads are inherently less physical than thumbsticks, so the company sought out a way to add more physicality to the experience. Part of this advancement in physicality is expanding on the rumble feature found in contemporary controllers forward. To that end, the Steam controller features a new generation of super precise haptic feedbacks, Valve said. This includes making use of linear resonant actuators, just described as small, strong weight electromagnets that are attached to each of the trackpads. They are capable of delivering a wide range of force and vibration, allowing precise control over frequency, amplitude, and direction of movement, Valve said. This haptic capability provides a vital channel of information to the player, delivering in-game information about speed, boundary thresholds, textures, action confirmations, or any other events about which game designers want players to be aware. The company added, it is a higher bandwidth haptic information channel than exists in any other consumer product that we know of. As a parlor trick, they can even play audio waveforms and function as speakers. Another new feature of the Steam controller is its touch-enabled surface, backed by a high-resolution screen. According to Valve, this surface is critical to achieving the input's primary goal, to support all games in the Steam library. The screen allows for an infinite number of discrete actions, Valve said. The entire screen itself is also clickable, making it a single large button. So actions are not involved by a simple touch. They instead require a click. This allows a player to touch the screen, browse available actions, and only then commit to the one they want, Valve said. Players can swipe through at pages of actions in games where that's appropriate. When programmed by game developers using their API, this touchscreen can work as a scrolling menu. A radio dial, provide secondary info like a map, or use other custom input modes we haven't thought of yet. As a means to avoid forcing players to continually jump back and forth between the screens, this Steam controller is integrated with Steam so that when a player touches the controller screen, its display is overlaid on top of the game they're playing. Thus, the player never needs to divert their eyes from the action, Valve said. There are a total of 16 buttons on the Steam controller, half of which are accessible to the player without requiring them to lift their thumbs from the trackpads. This includes 2 buttons on the back. All controls and buttons have been placed symmetrically, making left of right-handedness switchable via software config checkbox, Valve said. The Steam controller also boasts shared configurations technology that will assist in supporting the entire catalog of Steam games, Valve said. We have built in a legacy mode that allows the controller to present itself as a keyboard and mouse, Valve said. The Steam community can use the configuration tool to create and share bindings for their favorite games. Players can choose from a list of the most popular configurations. Lastly, Valve said the Steam controller was designed from the onset to be hackable. The company will make tools available in the future that will allow users to participate in all aspects of the experience, from industrial design to electrical engineering. We can't wait to see what you come up with, Valve said. Those who are selected for the Steam Machine's beta will receive a Steam controller. Though Valve said the first units out the door will not include a touchscreen and will not be wireless. 4 buttons will be used in place of a touchscreen, and these units will require a USB cable. Valve also confirmed that the Steam controller will be okay. This can go in one of 2 ways. One, it will be like the OUYA done right, or it can go in the other way, which would be an utter disaster. I don't know what to really place this at. I'm not a fan of Steam. Like, yeah, there are some good games, but I don't really go on Steam. Like, I tried it once, and I just didn't do it. I don't know, I just never got into it. But for those who love Steam, I say go for it. I mean, it's practically perfect for those that don't want to use a keyboard and mouse for some games. And believe me, there are some games where you do not want to use a keyboard and mouse. But yeah, for people like me that go on a console, this feels kind of awkward for me. And I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just something you want to get into that's new. If you want to do that, that's your pick. Anyways guys, be sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. This is Tyler from the channel Super Brahma, signing out. Peace.